Yeah, I need to relaunch my game. I don't know what's going on. Because I don't have any other juicy.
Yeah.
Barrel isn't back up though. I can't believe she did that. Oh, that was my attention.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. No, dude. They're gonna pick up Sharper Boy. I don't think I'm playing this one. Meg did heal up. Not sure why he just stood there. He really just took it like a man. Alright, Nethia already healed. I will do this because I'll stay undetected. Cringe! I was gonna say if that didn't hit, I was about to be very upset. I'm gonna keep this cute because I can. I'm kind of ahead at the moment. She tapped it. Let's kick it again. Oh, does the cage not count as a to the entity? Oh, hatch points. That's so sad. She was right next to hatch.
The gen.
Oh no! I just did him so dirty. I like slammed the pallet and it put him on the other side.
Panic. That freaking panic.
I'm sorry, I'm just a little preoccupied. I mean, who's been hooked here? I can't believe she did that. I don't think anyone's gonna want to tell.
Shut up.
Why would I play Sniper?
Oh fuck, shit, fuck, I might go down here. Just kidding, I'm goated. What? I feel scammed. Well no, I feel like the range. Bagel.
I sabotaged
There's no way of stopping
I've saved it hard for that moment. Thank you, thank you. Exhausted while asleep would be cool. I was gonna say earlier with what Boiler Dwarf was saying, maybe an add-on where it was bad, man. What the fuck? I don't know why she bothered to vault that. This is pretty far along. I don't feel bad about popping this. Get fucked. Oh my. He dropped? He did drop. What up, what up, what up? Hey gamers. Hey Mad, what's up, dude? Thanks for popping in. Gonna just stream some Dead by Daylight tonight. Probably Killer, although I might have my friend Nebs back on. We can duo some Swift. What's new, man? I know you were messaging me earlier sending me some R6 clips. I haven't played R6 in a while, to be honest. Listen, okay. I'm reading, but... Okay, here we are with the R6 clips. I'm just gonna queue up as night with what I got. This looks like a gen kicking build. I should play Siege with you. Yeah, I don't think we've actually gamed together, Mad. You've been in my chat a bunch, we've messaged a bit. We called that one time. I'm listening to my inner voice remasters. Not if I don't have an inner monologue. The kid... First thing she says in my chat, hashtag Bo as well. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate that. Oh yeah, and then she learned. Oh yeah, no, thanks for the lurk, kitty. I found you off Siege. We did not kiss, Mad, but close. Yeah, you know, I always forget how people find the stream. But yeah, that's cool. That's what I did. I tricked you. I streamed Siege. Or was I even live when you found me? Yes. You were in my game. It was plain. My friend. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of all these things. Oh my god. I forgot that was you, that match. Yeah. But yeah, there was definitely a hacker on the team, and I was like, nah, I'm all set. Usually if I figure out there's definitely a hacker in the match, I just dip. I'm like, this is either guaranteed win or guaranteed lose, depending on whose team they're on, and it's just not fun. The kid sucked. I don't think he was hacking. I forget what happened. I think... Yeah, the barcode name usually is a hacker. I forget the details for that exactly. Like what happened that match. No, I should probably change the lo-fi. The lo-fi is probably not the mood. There you go. Hi-fi. Hi-fi audio is a thing. I don't know if there's really hi-fi music. Lo-fi music, I mean lo-fi meaning low fidelity, right? I think the whole vibe to lo-fi is kind of minimalism. Hey, Nine, thanks for popping in, dude. I saw you pop in a rack stream just before I left. I do need to check out Hi-Fi Rush. I think you mentioned it, maybe somebody else. And I barely seen a thing about it, but it did look really dope. You're a no fidelity. You don't cheat. I gotcha. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. All right, first match of the night. You know, guys, this is only canon if we win. What, are you saying you would cheat with me, man? I'm not a home wrecker. No. I do not participate in adultery. You cheat. So that's a weird thing, right? Because would it be cheating on me if... Oops, I need to hit space, not... Would it be cheating on me if I consented to it? If I consented to you having relations with somebody else? Because I don't think that would be cheating, by definition. Okay. I don't really have any perks to find them, but once I do, we'll get this ball rolling. That's just an open... Yeah, it's some sort of polyamorous or open relationship. Exactly. Because I've talked to people who are... I used to have a coworker who... Oh, this is where I can use nowhere to hide. Find them. Oh my god, they're all here. They're gonna rinse this pallet. Oh, there's no pallet here. Sorry, chat. Gotta focus. She's gonna use this pallet. Oh, wow. Okay. Sick dead hard, dude. She tried to ult dead hard for distance, I think. Okay, once I... Oh, there's no hook right here. Once I hook her, it will cause that gen downstairs to erupt as well, which will be awesome. Because I know there's 2 of them down there. Oh, maybe not. Do I not know how eruption works? Oh, thanks for the alert, Quinn. Appreciate you dropping in. Oh, I guess it didn't erupt. Eruption was on cooldown. Oh, I gotcha. I'm gonna destroy this now, but... Wow, I feel like everything is in slow-mo. That was weird. Yeah, don't worry, Ada. I want you. I don't want the Nia. Let me get some hit. The Jeff and hey Jeff, I didn't even see him till he moved. That was crazy. That was a good dead hard. That was a really good dead hard. I will wow, is it just me or is that cooldown crazy? She went another way. Jeff probably went around the building. Okay, I see. So eruption's there now. Okay. Okay. Homie, I saw you. There's Jeff. Oh, he has quick and quiet. Is there still a glitch in the game where you get a free quick and quiet sometimes? Because that sucks. I'm gonna wait for him to... I thought I was gonna go for the window. Just vaulting everything. There's let's see, does he have dead hard as well? He doesn't make that. Okay, cool. I'll never get over how much this game looks like Sky. Really? DVD looks like Skyrim? I guess I could see it. I've never had that thought though. Is it because I have a sword? Because I have a big sword? Okay. So this gen's pretty. Yeah. Let's see if they're anywhere nearby. They're probably in a locker. I can drop down this hole. Let's see. Who saved? Hopefully that cuts them off. Hey, Nia. Okay, this is the Nia I hooked earlier, which is good. Means I can alternate, get her to second stage. I do know she has dead hard. I didn't really think I was close enough for that, but it's okay, I guess. I should use the guards to break pallets more like that, because it saves me time. Oh, you know what I can do? Oh, I thought there was somebody there. I have, I almost lost her at this point. Wow, she really just ran into me without looking. The night in particular looks like Skyrim? Yeah, that's what I figured. This is definitely a Fallout ripoff. Yeah, man. For sure. Dude, I love the night so much. Like, just in terms of character design, the hair coming out of the helmet, little weird. But, she's making funny noises. She's screaming because she's in pain. I am already done at 2 gens, so this isn't great. I'm not using my save the best for last at all. I'm just not mindfully using it. Because I did hit the Jeff earlier, which isn't great. It sucks that I found her again. Hopefully somebody comes and saves her. He's going... Oh, there he is. Hey, Jeff. Ooh, he had Lithe, but I was just close enough. Okay. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
I was gonna say, the assassin is just gonna... I don't think Dead Hard works on the assassin. I'm not sure, though. I'll have to look that up. Wow, they're really going for this gen inside again. Wow, you really just saved him right there. That's crazy. Wow, okay, the quick and quiet fooled me for a second. Yeesh. Okay, I should do this. Have this guy kick the gen. Man, I messed up. I should have gone for the other person. I wasted my time looking for the Jeff because he had lied as well. Hey Boiler, it's going pretty well. Just starting out stream. I'm just moved myself into a dead zone, so that's great. They're probably really working on that gen a lot. That'll scare him off at least. Quick and quiet into Jeff. Into Jeff going, ah! Yeah, you're right. You're right, you're right. This Fang I haven't actually seen all match. Why are you injured? Who injured you? Did I injure you? When did I injure you? Oh, I think the Carnifex got her. That makes sense. Okay, Dual Blades is streaming tonight. Perfect, dude. Perfect. Because Barry Bebop might stream tonight, but if Dual Blades is live, I will definitely raid them. Yeah, there's no way I'm winning this. I'm just gonna slap this gate open to kind of scare them. So they'll think I have, like, Blood Warden, maybe? It just starts the timer, puts pressure on them. Oh. I did see Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff's gonna pull me away. I think this gate's probably gonna be open soon. Hey, Jeff. No quick and quiet this time. Okay. Where'd she went? Man, I'm really bad at tracking. Is my issue. Ada is... Let me cut her off. Like that. Oh, not what I was hoping for, but that works. And then the Ada, I see you. I'm probably just gonna let her go anyway. Oh, she might make it to, I'm gonna do that. Oh, does not work? That's crazy. The rip. Oh, because it didn't trigger on the Ada. Alright, get out of here. Get out of here. Who was the other person? So Nia... Oh, that was Kate. Yeah, Kate I saw at the beginning, but not like the rest of the match. I wish this Jeff would just leave as well. He might be looking for Hatch. Jeff? Oh. Bye, Jeff. Alright, like I said, nice warm-up match. Non-canon. That was fun, though, but I just... I don't know, I think part of it is perks, but also a big part of it, obviously, is playing. GG's. Nami Noms. I like that name. Private profile. Fair enough. Oh my god. Hey Rack, thank you so much for the raid. 5 raiders. Welcome in, gamers. I actually just finished up my first match of the night. I figure everyone in Rack stream probably knows me, but if you don't, hi, my name's Bo. I stream a lot of Dead by Daylight and similar horror games like Amnesia. Currently I'm working through Alien Isolation in VR. And yeah, thanks for dropping in. Rack, how was your stream, bud? Obviously I was chilling in there for a little bit, and it seemed like you were having fun. It was just good vibes. It was just spring cleaning vibes, you know? He was playing Power Wash Simulator. I need to pick up Power Wash Simulator. I would definitely find that super satisfying. Honestly, I'm gonna Rack. I think we should yoink and twist Markiplier's thing and just like, because so I've talked about Rack and I have talked about doing a podcast for a long time. And we've talked about doing it with Nine in chat as well. What if we did it playing Power Wash Simulator? Good vibes. Stay super happy with the lack of delay. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, Rack's stream the last few times has had like 30 minutes of delay, and we finally figured out it was just his connection to the router, and so I helped him set up a Wi-Fi extender he already had. Wow. Thanks, Matt. Okay, let's put together. You know what? I don't want to play Knight. I've been playing a lot of Knight. I want to play Pyramid Head. I want my aura reading Pyramid Head. Yeah. Yeah. Aura reading PP Head. There we go. Podcast. Yes. Man, you still need to watch JoJo's. Rack 2. JoJo's is the best anime. You can't change my mind. There's other great anime. Don't get me wrong. But JoJo's is objectively the best anime. JoJo Siwa, mad. I don't like you sometimes, man. Top 3 foreheads worldwide. Oh my, mad. Come on, bro. Okay. I was just checking my stream deck. Can you guys see my peepos, by the way? I don't know if the eye tracker is really working. Doesn't look like it's on. Open up! Nope. I'm all set. Let me see if I can reset the... Oh yeah, hold on. Guys, let me know if my peepos are working. The eye doesn't work in Firefox? Nah, that's just not true. There's no way. There's no way. Now I'm pulling up my own stream in Firefox. Hold on. I gotta mute this as soon as possible. There's definitely a keyboard shortcut for mute tab. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's just literally Control M. I'm a genius. Mute this as soon as... Oh god, I'm sorry. Yeah, the extension works. I think it's just not loading. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. I have the eye tracker plugged into my monitor right now, my second monitor. Like, as in the USB port for power. But the issue is, like, whenever I wake the PC, it power cycles the USB ports. So it, like, disconnects and reconnects, and I don't think it likes that. The eye works, but I haven't connected. Imagine using Firefox L. Ooh, that almost got me for a second, man. Or Rack. That almost, my heart, like, skipped one beat, but then I looked up at the preview and saw it was blurb. I was like, I'm in streamer mode. Tobios is currently available in Chrome, Opera, and Edge. Oh, my bad, 9. My bad. So wait, is it working then? Hold on, let me put my stream. You guys are gonna make me have to put a delay on that. If you ain't using Bing, what could you be? I use Start Page in all seriousness. Yeah, the Toby Ghost doesn't seem to work in... Oh, and we got Midwich. Oddly appropriate. Okay, so I got a... We're reading. Oh, this is gonna be so funny if I can snipe them through. Oh! I was gonna say, I know 2 of you were in here. Oh, that's so lame. That's so lame. That's so lame. Dude, I'm just quitting. I'm just quitting right now. Nope.
That's nasty.
Next. Oh man, no. You know what? I'm not playing that. I played myself. I'm all set. I don't need to smoke. Oh my god. So anyway, we're gonna wait here for 30 seconds. I'm not. I'm just done with that. Anyway, yes. So for anyone who doesn't know, speaking of Bing,
Hey, what happened?
I know AI and machine learning have been a huge topic in recent years, especially in the last few months. Why did I leave? Dude, I just immediately played myself and I was just so embarrassed. I was like, you know what? They can have this one. I'm gonna go. Like, I missed my power, got smacked with a pallet, got blinded, and I was like, you know what? I'm all set. I don't need the smoke. I know, I'm sorry. I left as a meme. I'm not actually like super upset. And I'm sorry if that sucks for you guys. I don't mean to ruin your fun. I appreciate you popping in. It was just, I just immediately got owned and I was like, you know what? I just thought it would be funny to leave. Ooh, he does mean t-shirts. I'm not, guys, come on, chat. Have a nice night. Sometimes it's just best to be like, you know what? I don't need this. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the follow, Grace. Oh my god. Anime sex lover 4020. That name goes hard, dude. That's a crazy name. Thanks for the follow, guys. Hopefully we'll end up in a lobby again sometime soon. Maybe even tonight. I won't DC next time, I promise. I'll be looking for your names. I saw Pallet go down, then rip. Yeah, dude, I was so excited. I had lethal, and I saw two of you in the showers or whatever in the corner. I was like, oh my god, I can get this. And then I like flick, miss, and I was like, okay, don't worry, I can wrap it around the corner, miss, pallet, flashlight. I was like, you know what, I love myself, and I don't want to stop loving myself, so I'm gonna leave. Get off my lawn. Yeah, that would be a funny username. I think I've seen a name like that. But I hope you guys get another queue really quick. I'm sorry if you were waiting.
I'm in danger.
I know Survivor queues suck sometimes. I'm actually a Survivor main. I have a Daddy Dumpy. Thank you for the follow. That's a good name too. I have 1,000 hours in DVD, but I would have to say like over 700, maybe over 800 are in Survivor. So, you know, I pretend to be a killer sometimes, but I know how much queues can suck. Yeah, don't use your TTV because you get tunneled. You know, it's a risk I'm willing to take.
Baby?
You can always... I don't mind using my TTV as killer because they can't see it till the end of the match anyway. But yeah, as Survivor, it's kind of like, do I want the free advertising with the chance of getting tunneled? You know, what's up, baby? If you could talk to Joe Byron right now, what would you say? What's up, baby? I miss you. Or no, I totally messed up that quote, but you guys know what I mean. It's tough, especially when yeah. You guys are really loving the blurred blurts tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna go for this AFK if there's... Ooh. Hey, Leon. Nice, he ran into that. And I left some trail behind me. I need to place more trail in general, trying to... Hopefully he'll run through that, through the doorway. I do hear a gen to my right I'll have to go back to. Block that pallet a little bit. Right. I just want him to run through the... I think I can... Oh, let's go! Oh, this is why I play Pyramid Head. It's so much risk reward. Like the adrenaline rush from hitting that is whew, crazy. But then when you miss, it feels so bad, man. It feels so bad. Oh, Tinkerer. Thanks for the Ugrack. I don't think I'm gonna make it to this gen in time.
Emotional
Okay,
damage.
Leon's on here. I don't even know if it would have gone through the wall anyway. Hey, what's up? Oh, another Tinkerer proc. I'm gonna pretend to chase her, but then just... Oh, and the jolt value. That's great. Okay. Alright, Rag. Thank you, man. I should, in all seriousness, I should put a delay on that so it can't be used more than like once a minute. That's on me. You guys are just abusing the system I set up. Like the government. Oh, that was the Meg I saw. Okay. Oh. Okay. She really was just chilling there. She heard me coming and she didn't even risk it. This Lori really wants to smoke. I don't like to chase survivors that want to be chased. That's usually a bad sign. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Don't want her looping this. Oh, she's bringing me to a T and an L. Oh my god, with this wall as well? Yeah, I don't really care. Bye, Lori. That happens to me all the time playing Survivor. Like, I'll have killers who just don't want to commit to me. And I can't help but feel sometimes like they just don't feel confident chasing me. And again, I'm a straight Survivor main. So. Ooh, that was a good commit, but I got a double hit. Meg, babe. You should have left. You were injured. I guess the commit was good. I respect the commit. Okay, I don't want to jinx it, but so far this match is going good. I don't mind if they do the perimeter gens. I'm just gonna put this down. Okay. I was worried that they were gonna run back up and work on it. Okay, Leon I will. I think Leon I hooked once before at the beginning of the match. Okay, he's not. He is... Okay, he's bringing me to Shack. I'm okay with Shack. Oh, dude, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. Let me just... Let's go! I'm all ears value, baby. God, I'm turning into Rack. Yeah, Lori, I'm not sorry. I don't want to chase you. Ooh. Okay, I'm pretty confident I can get him at this point. Oh, that was close. Oh. Oop, what corner did I end up in? Oh, that was too sharp. Alright, I gotta leave this. They're taking too long. I can let them reset. Hey, Lori. Bye, Lori. Oh, how did that not hit her as well? I would guess I was too much to the left. I gotta run a Hubris. on Pyramid Head. Actually, yeah, wait, I have some night perks I can throw on. Meg, babe, you're playing way too confident for somebody who's on Death Hook. Especially when I literally let her go earlier. Like, I swear to God, if this Meg gives me shit, I'm gonna be like, homie. I wasn't sure about that. Hey, there you go. All right, well, I got one person on the game. Right? Pretty sure. Same hook too, all 3 times. Alright, so that's 3 hooks, 4 hooks. I need 2 more to get this archive. I don't have a lot of slowdown perks on Pyramid Head. I'm having to do a lot of gen kicking. Oh, you know what I should do is I should put nowhere to hide on him. That would go hard. Adam kind of ran into me there. Fun fact, Pyramid Head is one of, if not the tallest killer, but he slouches a fair bit. I'm proud of that hit. I'm very proud of that hit. Let me just face the wall. Just look up. Let me not go by the locker. Hey, how's it going? I think she has a key, probably aura reading. I'm not really gonna move him. Oh. What's up, dude? Yeah, that was fair. W Warrior. I've already hooked once. Yeah, I think also has Dead Hard. Okay, and then I can actually cage him as well. Although if I really wanted to, I could have saved it for the final judgment. The cage is probably over there. They're probably pounding that gen, yeah. This Adam I can get, methinks. Wow, they're really trying to pull me. 1, 2, 3. I mean, the more you touch this, the more I can kick it. And they're really just not trying the other 2 gens. The Lori. I ran out. That's so sad, dude. I was literally just about to, That was good on him. That was really good on him. Wow, I keep, overcompensating. Not sure why he dropped that. But on the bright side, I can, okay. I think they went back towards the shack. Yep. They're not healing. The Lori, I know, is nearby. So if Adam just commits to that far gen, I'm really not checking it. But it's going to take him a while. Okay, so they're all injured. I think they're playing this a little too confidently. And they need to try to heal a bit more. Because especially if I down somebody, it's going to jolt the gen. I'm not going to go to that. I think that's bait. Ooh, that was close. He already dropped this pallet. Wow, dude, you got me. Dude, I hear your grunts of pain. He's like trying to run into me. Hey, River Koi. Thanks for popping in, dude. Were you the Meg? Or where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Okay, well, they're in a really bad position here. That was crazy of me. Oh, that would have been wild. Adam's probably in a gate. I just really... Oh no, the gates are both that way and they... Okay. Okay. Hey, Adam. Let me just start this. She has a flashlight, so I have to be careful. Bye, dude. Actually, she's being really stupid. Yeah. Yeah, you're actually... Nah. He's gonna get off my shoulder. Yeah. River. Cool. GG's. Two for two. We met a bit ago. I think you were killer. I had a whole name change. You were Stitchy Witchy. I do remember you. I really appreciate you popping back in. How's it going, dude? So if I can big Prez Trump odd ditto. If I can get on my soapbox for a second here. Here's a Survivor Main's perspective on this match. Like I said, the Meg, maybe a little too confident at the end for somebody on Death Hook. My bigger thing is this Lori. Obviously, very skilled player, very good looper. Me as the killer, noticing that, you know, I did not go after her. And she was trying to pull me a lot. But I almost want to say maybe she could have been a bit more of a team player. I don't know. In hindsight, honestly, it was a good match all around. I think they did well. Not that I'm a DVD critic or something. Hi. How are you? I'm pretty good, honestly. I'm starting a new job any day now, so that's super exciting. It's just security like I used to do at a cannabis dispensary, which is, as you can imagine, very chill. And it's in my hometown, so it's like a 10-minute drive at most. Thank you. How have you been? What's new since I last saw you? In the meantime, I'm thinking I don't need Brutal on night because I can use the guards to break a pallet, but if I do Enduring and Hubris... And then I want the double Carnifex. And I just want to plow through pallets. I'm okay trying to stream more often. Lost motivation for a bit other than that. Right? Hey, I totally get it. I've had lulls where I didn't stream for months. You know, I've been streaming 3 days a week for maybe 3 weeks now. But yeah, it's okay, dude. I mean, streaming should be something fun. You know, if you want to make it your career and take it seriously, sure, there's going to be tough decisions, but especially when you're just starting, like me or you or whoever, it should be fun, you know? Because if it's not fun, you're not going to want to do it. Okay, this is good. Oh, but of downed pallets. I think broken pallets don't count is the issue. I need something that unscrewed needs to be increased by. So. You're 100% right. Thank you. Unseal on patrol. Ranger detection. Decrease the amount of time it takes for a guard to complete their order action by 25%. Is the order action... Would that speed up kicking a pallet? Oh yeah, Riverkoi, why don't you tell us a little more about what you usually stream? DBD, Valo, Raft, Overwatch. Cool, 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 cool. Oh my god. Jailer appears twice. Full hunt search for a second. I feel like I'm gonna go with the flint and steel anyway, even if I'm gonna be breaking a lot of pallets. So the whole point of this build is I get smacked with a pallet, I use the Carnifex to break it, and then Hubris they're boned. And if I had Spirit Fury, that would go really well. Mostly DVD though, because it's just chill game. Thank you. It's, I'm not gonna lie, it's hilarious for you to say DVD is chill, but like I get it. It can be. Definitely more chill than Valo. Yeah, Rivercoin, next time you go live, if you're not already in my Discord server, feel free to join. It's public. It's a little dead, but I'm trying to be more after. Actually, no, the count to infinity is always gone. People just be counting. But I have a self-promo channel. If you want to, you know, plug your stream, plug when you go live, I'd love to drop in. Hex Face the Darkness. Hubris. I'm trying to think of a good night build. Maybe, yeah, Hubris. I love the absolute mayhem, crazy chaos. Yeah. Motismo is a bot. But, okay, so Enduring, Hubris. That's good for Chase. And I just don't respect pallets. I just plow through all the pallets, is the thing. And then I need stuff for... Do I have Ruin Undying? Ruin Undying would be great. I do not. Oh, I do have Ruin. I do have Ruin Undying. Honestly, I'm just going to go with that. I don't want to worry about kicking gens. No. So, Rivercoid, the point of this build is I'm not going to respect pallets. So, with the Knight, so I have Enduring. So, even if I get stunned, I'll recover quickly. And then Hubris will expose them from me getting stunned. And then the Axe Head gives me the Carnifex twice in a row. And the Carnifex breaks pallets so quickly that you can just walk through the pallet. So the idea is that Enduring, Carnifex, Hubris, they're exposed. So I'm going to try just plowing through pallets. You hate Knight. I've heard some people don't like playing against him. I haven't... Actually, I played against like 3 in a row the other night. I really like Knights in general. Knight designs. I really like that he has a great sword. The hair coming out of the helmet is so weird. Just seem to overpower. Yeah, so the thing, right? So as a survivor, if you're playing against the Knight, you want to get the Knight to hit you rather than the guard. Because if the guard hits you, he can hit you quickly after. But if he hits you, the guard disappears. So you try to, it's like you got to try to force him to hit you, but I don't like to cheese it super hard. Character design is tight, but I hate to play against him. Yeah. It's okay. I'm one of the good ones though, right, Rack? Right? My headphones keep pulling. Oh, Rack, speaking of... This is jumping way back in conversation. Speaking of ordering things, I need to order those headphones adapter. The headphone adapter I talked about to switch the left and right channel so I can wear the headphones how I want. Thanks for the heart, man. Really appreciate that. Dude, earlier when I first popped in your stream and I sent that message that didn't go through, like I said, that happens sometimes. It's weird. I was sitting there for like 6 or 7 minutes like, oh no, he has the delay again. And I was like, huh, but it's not pausing the way it did. But like, I didn't know if you had chat on your stream or not on screen. I could have brought lethal. I might have to rework this build. But yeah, and then when you finally read Pongu's message, I was like, oh, what? It was so hype. Devious on his sweaty and chili. Yeah. Sweaty and chills. I'm gonna need to guard those bones. I have no idea where they are. Oh, I'm so sad. I swung early. Ooh, that was almost a really good spin. He's gonna dead hard. Or not. Okay. Depending on level of immigration. Sorry, chat. I can't exactly keep up right now. Weird until I saw Pongu's message. The Nexus tunneling death and screaming. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That do be DVD. Man, where are they? Oh, well, they saved. I don't know why you're giving me free hits. I wasn't gonna chase the... Oh! Dude, it's... I'm not gonna lie, it's a little weird having the double Nias. I have to break this door. I'm trying to save my Carnifex for a pallet. Give me pallet. Why did I see her aura? Does she have object or something? Dude, that's crazy. I thought I saw her dead hard already. She really waited that out. Good for her. I really need her to bonk. Well, it doesn't matter if she bonks me with this pallet. She's already injured. I could place a guard. She mixed it up on me. Oh, okay. Can I place a guard? Thank you. Man, the other one got healed too. All right, I gotta drop them. Oh, hey, what's up, Vittorio? I had no idea he was there. I feel like I saw his aura after I injured him. These Nias are really... They're doing a lot, you know? Not sure where... Oh, I forgot it gives me the Carnifex twice in a row, so I just used a Carnifex. So I get blinded. Okay. 2 hooks, 1 gen. This isn't bad. And they haven't found my bones yet. I just gotta chase them off the gens. Oh, that's where the banner is. That's what that means. That one they haven't worked on again. They just saved them. It's not really worth me going back. I don't think they're working on that gen either. Ah, okay. So you do have object. She does know the hex bones are there, but... She has object, but I don't think she has dead hard, which is interesting. Oh, okay, you just left that pallet. I don't think you make this. Cool. So the thing about object, right, is you got to be pretty confident to run object. Like, I've memed about it, but it's not a good idea for me. That was clean. I might make this. Probably not. Probably just barely not. Oh, that was so close, though. That was really good Sabo, though. I'm guessing that was Vittorio. Dude, I can hear you. There's a beamer. Yep. Okay. Bye, kids. I will take all of the free hits. Thank you. I'll drop. I will give her one of these. Ooh. All right, hook's back, and I think I make it to. Okay, other Nia's up. That was a dead hard, you know. Man, I feel like I'm getting a really good team, to be honest. Like, I don't think I should have survivors this good. Cool. She's gonna dead hard. They did not sabo this time. That was a good try. Wow, these guys are... These guys are really... I don't know if I want to play killer after this. This is really intense. I don't feel bad doing that. Oh, I hear you. Oh, you don't make this. She has dead hard though. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I don't care. If that stuns me, I'm gonna be so mad. Cool. And then... Yep. Thanks for the hit. You're gonna save her. Oh, she didn't? Cool. Cut her off. She's gonna... Put her off from this window. The thing about dead hard is it only really works once. Yeah, probably Rack. To be honest with you, I haven't really heard from Nebs for a while, so she's probably caught up. Bonk. I don't mind doing that. These guys are really making me sweat. This is intense. I got a fair number of hooks. I don't know if I'm gonna get a kill though. They did cleanse my Undying, but not my Ruin. So that's nice. But the bones they haven't found yet are a lot easier to find. Oh, this girl's dead on hook, I think. You know what? No, I didn't actually end up hooking her the second time. She's gonna... Oh, she's not gonna drop that. I got stuck. And... Okay. They're probably gonna go sabo the hook behind me. Or just try to block it or something. So it's good I went this way. He has a cute skin. This one? Oh no, that's Fang. Sorry. Yeah, those two Nias. Yeah, I mean, if you're into that sort of thing. The hair. The neon. It's kind of like a turquoise hair. I don't know, I don't love the cut, but it is a nice color. There you go. There's the Ruin Bones. I still got a lot of value from that, though. She's gonna take me to shack. She's gonna make window. Oh! Oh, I wanted her to stun me. She's gonna keep looping me. So I'm just gonna cut her off. Then she has to leave. I could definitely be using the guards a lot better. She's gonna dead hard. Like I said, dead hard only works once. If you remember. Like, let me be clear. She's gonna sabo that, so I'm gonna go to this one. I mean, she beckoned for me to follow her. Dude, they're just... Okay, they're just throwing now. I'm not trying to be toxic. This girl was telling me to chase her, so... I think the Vittorio can sabo this. He has a toolbox. Hey, all I'm saying is she literally asked for that. This has been they've played so well though. That kind of keeps Vittorio busy for a bit. Nice. Whew. This has been super intense. Vittorio can't sabo the hook because of my guard! Dude, that was so good! That was so good! Vittorio, dude, that would have been crazy, but I'm sorry, man. This Fang, wow, this has turned into such a good match. I'm not just saying that, well, I'm saying that because I'm winning, but... Oh, they had me so stressed at the start. They had me so stressed. These are really good survivors. I think they're too good for me. I don't think I should have this win. Alright, hatch game. My heart rate, I should have put on the heart rate monitor. It's going. It's going. She'll probably find hatch. Oh. I have the better gaming headset. I heard it first. Let me just do that. Although I guess that wasn't quite the right placement, but it's fine. I barely used my build though. I used 2 of the perks, just Ruin Undying. I should have zoned her farther from the gate before swinging, to be honest. But you live, you learn. Okay. Wow, that was a crazy match. These were really good survivors. I feel a little bad because I don't think I deserve this win. But damn, that turned into a 4K. My heart is genuinely racing. That was really intense. This is why I don't like Killer. I'm honestly way more chill playing Survivor. I wish I could open that still for points. Wow, and I got 4 Eries. I double pipped. Sheesh, that was quite the game. Oh, they're all on console. Man. Well, I hope they had fun. I hope it wasn't too rude for me to tunnel that Nia. I mean, she did beckon at me to chase her. And I'll stand by that. Rack, you want to queue up for some Swift? Kill the obsession by any means. Alright, I'll meet you in the server, brother. Oh, 7. Thanks, Koi. Wow, I have no idea what build I'm running right now. It's taking a while to join. I expected him already. Oh, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was watching me on the big screen. Or I guess the medium screen, the TV. I need a cleanse a totem, do a gen. Oh no, survivor. With resilience. Hey, what's up, gamer?
What's going on, brother?
You know,
I was waiting until I could like boot my game.
it's all
I
good.
accidentally still had Power Wash Simulator open.
You can have more than one game running, you know.
Not on my computer.
What? Yes, you can.
I
Shut
don't
up.
trust it.
Your
I don't
computer's
trust it.
better than mine.
I don't trust it.
I'm just telling you, you could have
Is it?
launched DVD before you closed Power Wash Simulator.
You know, I trusted you to be able to handle your own stream. I didn't think I had to rush. But I guess I'm here to carry.
I'm gonna handle you in a minute. Mary's not live anymore. I know Mary was streaming DVD earlier.
Mary was live before I was live.
Yeah, no, I know that. Wait, let me just invite her and see what happens. She just got out of a match.
Hell yeah, brother.
I have a feeling she's not gonna. Hold on.
Always worth the invite.
Where did you? Right.
Hold on. My game was loading, bro. Chill.
No, I know. I was trying to just find you was all.
Here I am. Hello, my friend.
Sorry, I'm just messaging Mary. I'm live with Rack, but you don't.
What's going on, chat?
Damn, that one really boomed. They don't like you, man. I'm sorry. They're a tough crowd tonight.
Yeah, I just was looking at chat, not moving. Hey, what's up, Rivercoit? Hello.
Hello, my friend.
I like Rack. I'm just lurking. Thanks. Big preach, brother. Big preach. I say brother a lot now. What the fuck happened?
Hell yeah, brother. It's just in our DNA. The American way.
I didn't like that. Please don't do that.
You're just mad because I'm right, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna ready up and... Epic
God.
Bofa moment.
You know, speak of the devil and she shall appear.
Sheesh.
She.
And sheesh, I'll appear.
I do my best. Gotta be everywhere all at once. Hey, Rack, is Princess Dirtface, is that her Twitch username as well, or just Discord?
That is her Twitch as well. We're working on getting a new brand for her, but we haven't put it together yet.
Just seeing if she's in chat. She does not seem to be. Are you gonna ready up? Sorry, that came
Yeah,
off.
I didn't know if Mary was joining.
No.
Bet.
No, I messaged her. She said, "Ew, that Rat guy, he's cringe as fuck, but I'll lurk."
Hey,
No, she said she was
keeping it
done.
real.
Yeah, she's done gaming for tonight.
She calls them how she sees them.
I mean, like you said, she was live
respect
before you were live, before I was live.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
I
doubling
refuse
down.
to play with bald people. I'm not bald though, so I can't play with Bo. True. Yeah. So now we just have to go
Okay.
live
All right.
and invite.
Rack
Bo,
is
but
also
not
bald.
Let him join. I'm not bald.
Well,
I
I'm
have
not bald.
Long, luscious locks.
You got something.
I can put it in a bun.
I don't know if 3 hairs counts as a bun.
You're just really mad that this bit took off, and you really want someone else to have to deal with it.
Rack can't be bald. He's wearing a hat. How did she know?
True.
How did she know that he has a hat?
Because I'm better.
No,
friends
Rack, I'm
with
saying
Mary
check your
than I
cams.
am with
Check
you.
your Rack, check for cams. You're being watched. Covers webcam.
My webcam is already covered, actually. AI Mary. Ooh, new Mary arc.
Yeah, Rack, how long did you have these social tonics before I yoinked them last night?
That's a crazy word for them.
That's what they're called.
I've never heard.
Yeah, you just don't read. I know. It's literally on the can.
It's weed water, bro.
So anyway, how long have you had these? Because I'll be real with you, they did not really hit last night. Months? Yeah, no. That I had a 2 milligram one last night. Did not feel a thing. Dude, I feel like Mary's gonna shank butt spot.
I wasn't gonna comment. It's like I feel like if you're saying you're AI. Oh hi Meg.
Oh hi Meg.
I'm Rack.
Oh, are you live as well? Curated Chaos? Sharoon? I assume that's got to be the same person. That's the only Meg.
Superior AI, all best 1v1.
I want to make it very clear. Buttspot is not an AI. Buttspot is machine learning at best.
Oh, Buttspot coming back with some flames, though.
Dude, I swear to God, there is like some person behind Buttspot that does manual intervention.
Yeah, there's a guy who's like, right now. I'll kill your death. I like this Mary arc.
Unhinged Mary arc. Mary, what did we tell you about the Mercury?
Yeah, a little bit too much mercury in your tea.
Thanks for the follow, Charoon. Okay, Rack, I need you. We can't let Charoon die now. I need this follow, brother.
Heard.
You know, like the meme of like, there's a girl and a guy, and then like, girl asks for a favor, and he's like, nah. And then she's like, I don't know, some sort of sexual innuendo. And it's like, need this, you know, suddenly very motivated.
Yeah. Dude,
I could explain that better. Did you just see the fucking conga line of bad connection? Oh!
Yeah, that was, yeah.
That was kind of great. It went literally doop, doop, doop.
He picked me.
Have you played against an Oni before?
Mayhaps.
Okay, so just to make sure you understand, when you're injured against Oni, you produce blood orbs.
Yeah, I was looking at those.
He can suck those up, and then I'll point it out when it happens, but there's like a noise that means he can use his power, and then a noise when he transforms. He goes like demon mode, and he can demon dash and demon smash.
Brother.
And the smash is an insta down, the dash is just fast. But the biggest thing is you really do not want to be injured against an Oni. Because the more you're injured, the more blood you make, the more he can use his power.
So I shouldn't be getting picked up right now.
No, I'm saying like heal as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, I got picked up though.
Yeah, I saw. Mary said, not gonna lie, Mercury Arc is actually so fucking fun. I only started it today. Oh, Jesus. What's up, Weiss? Hey, Weiss, you want some Swift? We got an open spot, bro.
Rack's here too. Oh my God. Oh,
yeah, Weiss, you want my brother in arms, my brother in Christ.
Heal me. Oh my God. Oh my God, you're not heal me. Brother.
What if I'm about to solo a gen?
God, can you please, thank you so much. I love you.
Dude, I wish it showed when you were being healed. Because it shows the Meg is healing somebody, so I guess it implies it's you, but...
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I yelled at you. Oh, there's...
Hey, Zarina. Hey, Rack, I want to get the gen in main building done sooner rather than later. Downstairs.
I want $1 million. How the fuck does it feel to want, brother?
Cool, thanks.
Oh my
Hello,
God.
Mr. Streamer. Please give me number 9, and if you disconnect me, I will... What? I'll chop off your ... behind refrigerator. What?
What the fuck are you talking
I think she just dosed up, brother. I've never heard that, Mary. God, Mary, I would say send me it, but the last YouTube video you sent me was horrific. I don't think Mary's...
Did I send...
it was you again?
Is it... Yeah, it was crazy. Is it worse than the recent AI deepfake thing I sent you?
Of the presidents?
No.
Oh, what What did you say?
It was
Was
the
it-
NFL coverage of the bombing on Hiroshima.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
No, it was worse. It was a lot worse than that.
It was worse than that. All right, cool.
Cause like what you shared was just like, man, I don't know if we should be joking about this. And then what Mary shared was
Brother.
like, dude, if only I had more toolbox.
And then
And he mores you.
you're actually a fun person to have in parties, and all of your friends like you.
That's right. That was a very nice thing for you to say.
Yeah, I didn't mean it. Anyway, it's not awful, I promise. This is like one of those old school songs designed to be dirty.
Oh, that's interesting. So when Oni picks you up, he loses his power. But if he mories, he doesn't. That's really interesting. Rack, you keeping up with chat? You want to TLDR?
I think so. I'm a little elevated right now, but so the long and short, I think I get it. Is like there's I forget what it's called, but like there's this song, like there was an old farmer who lived on
Oh yeah.
a rock.
It subverts your expectations. There once was a
Yeah.
farmer who lived on a rock, or lived on a dock. He sat there all day long and shaking his fist at the
Yeah.
children. Yeah, so it's that. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So that's what I just couldn't, I still don't get the hello Mr. Streamer, please.
Oh, it's
give me
that.
number
She's
9.
saying it's that one.
It's like dumb, but I think it's cool.
Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I'm kind of rinsing these pallets.
I'm just watching the game I didn't get to play because he fucking tunneled me.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think if you stun him, it doesn't get him out of his power, but he's gonna even dash me. Yeah. I tried a dead hard. I don't think I did it in time,
I see.
and I'm not sure it would have worked.
See, Mary, I've not heard that one. So that has to be like, I don't know if it's like
I don't know what.
EU version.
Please give me your number 9, and if you disconnect me, I'll chop off your behind. But 9 and behind don't rhyme. Is this how Brits talk?
Is this a UK thing?
Is this a UK thing? Because like that doesn't rhyme in American.
Yeah, that doesn't rhyme when you speak the words that are there.
Mary, that doesn't. That's not even a false rhyme. Is why I'm mad.
Emily
Mine
Dickinson
9
Afra.
behind.
Number 9.
I guess it's a false
Chop
rhyme.
off your behind.
Hello, operator. Give me a number 9. If you disconnect me, I'll chop off your behind.
Well,
It's
so
maybe
you're
a
saying
false rhyme.
number 9. It's like because hello operator, please give me number 9.
Yeah.
Because like you're like the old,
Right.
yeah, you're like calling
Man,
someone.
he
but you
really
have to
just-
go through the operator.
Be tunneling. That's crazy.
Yeah, this guy's fun at parties and has friends who like him. How does that not rhyme? Because
It's a false
It's
rhyme.
like-
I'll concede it's a false rhyme.
yeah,
And those are lame, and I don't like them.
and that's also why he hates hip hop music.
Dude, he came back for me. He literally left and came back. Hey, vibes.
No, I'll say it. This killer's bitch made.
This is why I bring you.
That's a certified. That's a certified rack fact for you. This killer is bitch made. I gotta make a little sticker that's certified rack facts.
I thought you were gonna say bitch made sticker.
I'll make a bitch made sticker and it'll be this guy's username. Bo does not necessarily share any Positions
I'm big dead.
expressed by rat.
I'm big dead. I'm big dead. Big dead.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't think that would work. I wanted to get around the corner, and then
dude, really just standing hard.
yeah. Oh, don't no, Meg. I'm not ready. She can see I'm not ready on the side.
I'm not ready. Wait.
This killer's a big boomer. All right, Meg, you got this. I was hoping she had a beamer or a toolbox. Either of which would have been hilarious. I think the toolbox would have been funnier though.
I had a beamer, but
You brought a
I was the
beamer?
first to go.
She's gonna farm
Yeah.
me. I am being farmed.
Brother. It's farming
Okay.
time.
Wait.
It's
Yeah,
more
no, he knows it's me. I was hoping that he accidentally chased her, thinking it was me.
Well, he really did go way out of his way to come for specifically you.
Dude. Again, I tried to dead hard,
And
but
he's gonna
I may have
fucking
been.
Mori you.
He is looking for others. I'm gonna go under
This
this
is a
pallet,
certified
but you know, no,
hood
he may have
classic.
only had a Mori for one person per match.
Oh, I didn't know that's how.
Yeah, he may not have had the. There's 3 Moris. So there's the Cypress Mori, which is you can Mori the last person regardless of hook state. There's the Ivory Mori, where you can Mori anyone who's dead on hook, and then there's the Ebony Mori, where you can Mori everyone who is dead on hook. This pallet saved me. You got this.
Damn.
You got this, Meg. Just
Did
lay
we
low.
figure out if the Meg is live?
Maybe because they haven't responded.
Zam, brother. That was crazy.
What's good though is she's dead on hook. I need him to hook the other person first. I'm gonna hopefully gaslight him with this pallet.
I
He
think
thinks
you're
I
the
power
only
struggle.
one who's dead on hook, right?
Yes. No, and oh yeah, you're so right. Okay, so she needs to unhook herself. She needs to just, as he's coming to get me and the other, she just needs to unhook herself. Okay, good. Yep. There you go. First try.
What a bitch, bro.
Oh man. If he had already picked, maybe she should have waited till he picked me up, I guess, but man. And he just knows where she is. He just seems to know. You know what? How's my friend doing? Alright. Hopefully the other... Can I just bleed out? I hope I bleed out, to be honest. Oh, Vibe's been playing Wo Long. Been playing Wo Long. Dude, I'm struggling big time. What? Is Wo Long a game? Is this a bit? Wo Long D's nuts? Well, I don't get it. I can't tell if that's a game or...
He's playing
Oh, he
big
is gonna pick me
time
up.
rush.
So he had the Ivory Mori.
Don't be sorry, Mick.
Oh yeah, Meg, you got nothing to be sorry for, dude. You were doing great. You were killing it.
This guy is just a bad.
Oh, Wo Long Fallen Dynasty came out today. Well, obviously I'm gonna guess that's some sort of game based in Asia. But like, what kind of game is that? RPG? Rack, have you heard of this game? Wo Long.
I haven't, but it sound like that title, Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, sounds sick as fuck.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's an RPG or...
It makes me think of like a Civ, like Civilization thing.
Yeah.
I am down, but that is up to Bosun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can join. That's my Steam. You don't have to friend me. You should be able just to join. I'm gonna set it to public. So if you pull up that profile, you should be able to join. Or are you on console? Tarun. Because if you're on console, I'll have to friend you. A new Dark Fantasy 3 Kingdoms action RPG from Team Ninja, developers of Neo. I do think I know of Neo. Oh, you're on console? Okay, one sec.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it one more time for the people in the back. Fucking Ramon 341.
Dude, no, shut. Okay, here you go, Charoon. This is my 2790. Okay, I typed in the chat so I can switch back, but that's my DVD. Neo Complete Edition. Yeah, so Neo's like another historical Japanese game. Supernatural kind of fantasy or historical fiction. I guess fantasy.
My battery died.
Your what died?
My battery on my Fernway.
Damn, you should charge it.
I'm gonna.
The first boss has killed you 9 times vibes. So is it like a Souls-like game? Is it like Sekiro or?
Yeah, they said it's like a Dark Souls. Neo.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, I see. It's the Neo / Dark Souls type game. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I still have not played a Souls-like.
Me neither.
But I do think it would be good to play on stream at some point for me. I don't know how I would take it, to be honest. Like, if I would just
Me
get
neither.
really frustrated and just want to, like, murder, or if I would be fine with it and be entertaining. I'm just worried about being entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if I get frustrated on stream, but I care if I'm, like, entertaining or not. If I'm just going and, like, people aren't vibing.
Yeah. That's my fear with doing the Jump King stream I had planned.
Yeah, the Faudian games.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's entertaining. Yeah, I just don't know if I'll be entertaining getting frustrated like that. But I get you. Like, there's been some games like Markiplier's played where he gets so upset that he's like doesn't play the game for a while. Like Pogo Stuck.
Yeah.
And the only reason Mark memes like I won't play this again unless like it's a sponsored video, and then Alienware was like, "Hey Mark." Oh, high blood pressure for sure. Brother, I always got high blood pressure. It's the diabetes.
Bro.
That's not true. I don't have diabetes. I do have high blood pressure.
I do as well.
I'm about to Kermit. No, don't Kermit sewer slide.
Oh no.
Haha, but you're so sexy. Ha ha ha. Dude, I'm a gold 3. This might finally be the month that I make it to Eerie 1 Survivor, but I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Top right, you have a Survivor grade.
Yeah.
So it goes Ash,
I'm
Bronze,
Ash
Silver,
4.
Gold, Iridescent, and it's 4 to 1. So I'm at Gold 3, and you're at what, Ash?
I'm at Ash 4.
That's the bottom. You haven't played DVD in a while, brother. You haven't played it since the 13th. You've had 10 days.
I definitely have not played it since then, yeah.
Well, yeah,
I don't know what I've been up to. Is there a way I can see like my past rankings?
No, it's just every month on the 13th it resets.
L.
Yeah. But you get points based on like your grade. Like if you get to Eerie 1, I think you get 1 million. Sorry, I'm just actually checking out how my stream looks. Nice. Oh wait, I have...
Nice.
Oh, let's fucking go, dude. I have quality options. I'm getting live transcoding.
Oh, hell yeah.
So people can watch in 480p, 360p, 160p. I don't know why those are the numbers Twitch chose. Because like YouTube goes like 144, 240, then 360, 480. Can we also like, it also bugs me. This is so stupid, but this so doesn't matter. But why no 540p option? Why we go 4 to 7?
Yeah, I don't.
I think they should
care that
do
much about that.
Yeah, because they should do resolutions that are easily divisible. So like 1080p and 720p both have a factor of 360. So they definitely need like 360, 720, 1080. And then I think 1440p is 1440p divisible by 1 sec. 140. Yeah, because it's times 9. Yeah. I stand by what I said. They should be integers of 160. I did say 320 here. 144 sounds better. I have a weird I'm feeling that weed water.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm feeling the fucking half a cart of
No way you had to have a cart.
dab pen.
Look, gamers, we're all together. I was gonna say, not that this fucking matters. You ever have opinions on things that don't matter, right? Like,
Most of my opinions are.
right? No, but I mean in terms of like, not liking certain colors or liking certain colors doesn't
Yeah.
really, or just like weird. So for example, 144, I've actually had the thought of like, 144 is kind of a weird number, but also not. And I've had that debate with myself.
I haven't. I've just been like, oh, cool. They chose 144.
Well, because it's I don't make this. I make this.
But I've never put much thought into that specifically.
Bro, she's stressing me out. Oh my god.
How many seltzers did you drink today?
Just one.
Bro.
I started it when I was in your stream.
Ah.
And it's just a 5 milligram. Well, I had a 2 last night and I didn't feel it, so. I'm good. I think this is Charoon. If you're looping with me, go do a gen. I'm big chillin'.
Wonderful weather we're having.
I thought maybe she wouldn't realize him in the corner, but she heard my grunts of pain. But I thought maybe she would just assume I vaulted the window again.
Who is it?
It's a hag. Have you played against a hag?
Is that the pig head one?
No, that's a pig.
Ah, got it.
So hag places traps. Dude, this Leon is actually AFK. Okay, maybe not AFK, but he's just been standing on the rock. Dude. He has
so
3 crows. Can you come save me? Because, that's bad. Pull her away. Pull her away. Okay, right.
I'm coming, brother.
Just be careful. She's still... Okay. Yeah, commit.
Ouchie. She's going for...
Bro, what is with killers tonight? What did I do?
This is a certified rack fact. If you tunnel, you're a bitch.
she got confused and lost me.
So yeah, I've definitely never played against that because I was like, "What the fuck is that?" when it came around.
Oh,
the
she has
corner.
like a weird fish skin. But yeah, so she places traps. They're little like mud triangles. And if you get close to them, it will spawn a clone of her that she can then take over. Oh, hey, what's up, Megward? Want some tickles?
Megward.
Oh, I need to do these bones. Yeah, Megward, Megalodon, Meghead. Meggy Smalls.
Meggy Smalls.
Or maybe Meggy. No, 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 no. I need to do that. No, no, don't bless that. Please. You know, you can. Well, this isn't a great boon to bone to bless because we're in the corner of the map. But I have an archive that I've been trying to complete for like 6 matches now.
Bitch, if this killer comes over here, I swear to God.
Thank you.
God damn it, brother. I was so close to finishing that gen and she kicked it. Oh my God.
Feels bad, man.
It do. And I'm right next to a hook. God damn.
Is the Leon still just on the rock?
Yeah.
Dude.
Why do people suck?
Well, you know, if some people want to get sucked, there's got to be suckers. But yeah, like, I don't... Maybe he's trying to rank down. It's so frustrating. Like, just play the game.
Yeah.
Like, in all seriousness, even if he's trying to rank down, he should still play the match, get points. You know, and I guess if he doesn't play, maybe it makes the round shorter, but he's just trolling if he's on the rock.
Yeah, he's just a piece of shit because you're just taking up a spot on
In a lobby.
a Swift that, yeah.
It's not just that
people
you're
are
taking somebody
actually
else's
fucking
spot, it's
playing.
that you're not helping, so we're more likely to die. It's just very selfish, you know? Same goes for killers. Oh, she did not. Okay. Oh, she has, You're doing great, Sweaty.
Thanks.
She has overcharge, so when she kicks a gen, the next person to touch it gets a really hard skill check. She's probably placing a bunch of traps. Oh, she didn't. That's so weird. But we'll get you out, Rack. Don't worry.
No worries. The last one I took a chance to escape and literally got out first.
Yeah, I thought the Leon maybe got off the rock and saved you.
No, he spun around.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
he wouldn't get booted for inactivity.
I'm gonna heal you. And if she starts coming...
She's
chasing-
chasing Meg.
Alright, let's go.
Us, came to us. Hey Meg, can you tickle me, please?
Dude, that
behind
feels
this
so
rock?
bad. I accidentally set off a trap, but spun her and then stunned her. That feels so
Thank you,
bad,
Meg.
man. Oh shit! I ran into her. She has a tinker. She went undetectable. Drop this.
Where is the generator? Oh, here it is.
I'm gonna take her to Shack. Because we already did 2 gens right here. Or 1 gen? 2 gens right here, yeah. I can't believe she let me get that stun.
Epic.
She lost me. She's probably gonna find me again. So one of the last gens is in a corner, which is not great for us. Or no, that is good. Sorry.
Now I'm just.
What's
looking
not
for
good is there's a
corner
gen
gem.
next to it. So hopefully the third one is nowhere close. Oh, she has in fact found Megan.
I'm running with Meg trying to find.
Yeah, you guys, you do you. I'm just gonna. Oh, I think she finally gave up on me. She has. Okay. I was about to say she has Tinker. Anyway, earlier Boiler said you're sometimes you're the sucker, sometimes you're the sucky.
Holy fuck!
She just teleported. You found out what a trap does?
Yeah, just appears right in front of your mouth hole. She's like, "Hello, I'm here now. Hi."
Hello, my friend.
Yeah, scared the shit out of me. Oh, hello, my friend.
Oh, she is here.
Oh, hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. We're all here, by the way.
Yeah, except for that fucking Leon.
Yeah, you keep leaving. You keep running. No, 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 don't come back. She's coming
My
back.
friend. Hello, Meg. Gen time. Epic generator moment.
No way you have bamboozle. No, let you know, I'm just gonna leave. Dude, she's so
Oh,
short.
brother.
I lost her. Oh. You really, Just keep recovering.
Say it.
Just keep, did she put a trap down?
I don't see one. Okay. I can get up myself.
Yep. I just sped it up for you. Just be careful not to get up in front of, okay.
What?
I was gonna say, be careful not to get up in front of her.
Yeah, no, I got up and ran away before you started saying that.
I know. I said it, then I looked and I was like, oh my bad. Okay,
Crazy how
Leon is still up there.
hasn't found him.
No, she has. She just doesn't want to chase him because he'll just run off the hill, first of all. And second of all, it's kind of good for her, if anything, that he's doing that. Yeah, you get that save. Unfortunately, she's going to be nearby. The crazy thing is he's like actively at the keyboard and mouse. He is like crouching and stuff. It's not like he went just fucked off and did something else.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's just a loser.
Mary got caught. Mary, those are my favorite emotes. The kind of ones where like somebody just typing in conversation might accidentally emote. She said in this economy, and it's Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, I see it.
What the fuck is that emote? This is like back on MSN when people used to use custom letter emojis. Yeah, man.
I'm fully mercuried. Am I fully mercuried, or do you remember?
No, you're just old.
Damn, bro.
You know what? I'm just gonna walk up here with him, and we'll see what she does about it.
At least I
Hold
can
on.
say I wasn't
Hold on.
tunneled.
Hold on. I saw him get up here. No, 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 no. Oh.
Dang, bro.
That was a really early dead hard. But she's a big swinger.
Swing, bada, bada, swing, bada, bada, swing.
She played herself. Maybe. Let's see if I can use this distance. Oh, I'm big dead.
Oh! Epic gamer moment.
Fire barrel. The barrel sometimes works. It doesn't work if they're already chasing you around it. And I'm so sorry, by the way, I didn't grab you, Trun. I tried, though. More than this Leon, who she's finally going after, even though I'm not dead on hook. But yeah, the fire barrel works if you, like, spin it after she swings.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I should bother recovering because I don't even know if he's gonna pick me up. And if he does, like, oh, he's good. Don't worry, he's got dead hard. Oh, gamers. Oh man, we really live in a society, you know. You could not hook
In
me
this
first.
economy?
You could go hook him instead. She's just deaf. She just doesn't hear things. She will see me though.
Imagine. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
In this economy.
I could get more emotes like that.
That's so fucking.
It's like my favorite is kind of a friend of a friend fall into gaming. He has the Mario emote and he plays a lot of Nintendo games. So if you say Mario, it's just him dancing. It's like that is in fact the same noun. Like that is, you know, this isn't wrong. It's just not what I expected.
Yeah. In this economy, I just saw the full context. Are you a real doctor?
Only in your dreams.
Nice skill check, brother.
I accidentally hit the spacebar when I went to air drum.
Rocked.
Actually, I should do this so that he doesn't have a chance to escape. There you go. Proctologist. Damn, British people just be speaking weird.
Damn. They really just be talking over
They be
there,
like
huh?
making up words or something. It's like they own the language.
Well.
Dude, I had this bit to myself when I was like cleaning the bathroom, and it was like, I was gonna tweet, you'd think British people would speak English better, or something like that. That was it. That was just the whole bit. So anyway, I'm gonna report this Leon.
I reported and I said, Leon, your mom fat.
Leon's not the one that sees that.
No, I said it in the game chat. I said, Leon,
Oh, okay.
your mom fat. And then I didn't put it in the in the report notes. A knife. What did my boy do to earn a report?
Oh, he was
Wow.
on the rock the entire time. Like Mary,
Yeah.
like literally start of the match, walks up onto a rock and has 3 crows up there the entire match until Rack was dead, our third was dead, and I was downed. And so the hag had to go for him. Yeah, and it's not even like he AFK'd and was doing something else to D-rank. Like he was moving.
Yeah, he was spinning around and stuff so he wouldn't get booted for inactivity, but he knew he needed to do that because he's being inactive.
Big stinky.
Big stinky. Leon needs a shower.
Ew, gross. Blech, yuck.
Yuck. Gross. Stinky.
Base Charoon moment. Or maybe it's Charu and Jay, New Jersey.
Charunge.
Churunge.
You should tell us in chat how do we say your name? Who are
I feel like they would have corrected us a
Identify
long time ago.
yourself.
Identify yourself. It's pronounced.
Sharon. Huh. I disagree with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't feel that one, Captain. That's gonna be a no from me.
I just didn't care.
I just try again.
Wave them in your hand, wave them in the air like they just don't care. Something like that. About waving your hands in the air.
Hey, this
Not caring.
Vittorio kind of dripped out. Fuck, I meant to
I
change
just
my build.
didn't D's.
Maybe 0-10 out of from me. But yeah, it's all good, Sharon. We're just memeing. Still a crazy spelling, but
Yeah, yeah.
this is probably gonna be my last, by the way.
Yeah, that's on the same level as like in Gaelic, the name Siobhan is spelt Sibohan.
No, that's different.
No.
That's different because I don't think they traditionally. I think they had to adapt the Latin alphabet to Gaelic. So it's not what you think. That's not fair, is what I'm saying.
It's my people, and I'm gonna make a judgment.
Our people, and I disagree.
More my people than yours.
Okay. So you come here often?
Yeah, pretty often, yeah.
Okay. It's weird, I haven't seen you before.
Yeah, who are you? I don't think we met.
Oh, I'm fucking your mom.
Well, that's a little rude. If anyone wants to animate that as a scene.
Dude, I have Twitch markers set up on my stream deck, but it makes like a fucking hour-long marker. I think I actually put an hour instead of a minute. Yeah.
So what do you do to like what kind of stuff do you usually mark when you
Anything I'd want to clip.
Yeah.
It's just like
What
funny.
would you-
Hey, my friend. Oh, hello, my friend. It's just like, oh, funny gamer moment. Occupado, my friend. Go take a shit elsewhere. All right, but man, have fun. Oh, occupado, my friend.
that one wasn't me.
No, this was Vittorio. Vittorio's nodding? Please don't nod at the killer. Bro. I think... No. Why is it the legions that always want to farm? Bro. I'm not farming. I'm playing Dead by Daylight, not farming Sim 2020. Oh, now are you chasing me? Oh, now we're in a chase. Rack, you're doing it. Yeah, just do it, Jen. Yeah, 9. I was too lazy to change this stream title from Killer Stream.
Nine, aren't you a mod? You should be able to update that.
It's not a big deal. It's not that deep.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to give her a stun because I do feel like she was just trying to farm. I'm kind of confused at this point. Hey Sharon,
Quick solo gen.
oh, hello, my friend. That was, you know, he made a choice there. This is fun, light work. Dude, I don't like when people farm. We're just in MMR hell, I think.
Yeah, what happened? Did we fall off?
No. I'll explain later. Nine just said a banger though. He said if Felix was a killer, his terror radius would be Harris Heller's stream beats.
Yes.
That one goes crazy. Felix is my least favorite killer. IDC against him as soon as I hear the terror radius. Oh, dead man switch. If you let go of a gen after a hook, it's gonna block for a bit. Farming is fun. Maybe it's always doctor. Mad is back. Hey, Mad. Okay, I caught it. Okay, cool. Oh, no, wait. That wasn't somebody getting the save. That was Fearmonger. That is certainly a choice. Please. Oh, that's a close hook. I think this person just hit second stage. I'm sorry, Vittorio. I was worried. I didn't want to farm you. She's really just proxy camping. Okay. Oops, I ran into the wall. Dude, how did you miss that, homie? Rack, you know, I respect it.
I thought
Not
he was
that
just gonna
much.
tunnel you, honestly.
Let's go. She also can't kick it when it's blocked like that, which is like a way you can abuse DMS, I guess. DMS sounds like... let me heal. DMS sound... Oh, she's coming this way. We're gonna heal here. Here. I want to be able to grab the pallet. He just dropped a pallet inside. Okay, so... DMS, I was gonna say, sounds like an anime power.
Yeah.
Like, because there's EMS, which is Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Come here. Where are you going? My friend, come back.
She was right there.
My friend dropped that on her. No,
Dude.
Dude, she's Mr. Power. I'm sorry. I know I was not being that helpful there. With what I was saying. She is missing every time she uses her power.
Because I was running away because she was right there.
No, I know.
And then you didn't run away.
Yeah, I know.
And then got mad at me that I ran away.
I think I lost her. Oh.
Getting...
I was chasing her this entire time and I had no idea.
Oh, cool.
You get yoinked again?
Ear. I'm wiggling though, brother. Yeah, nothing.
She left me. Oh, this is thrilling content. Can we? I guess we're just outside the boon, but I feel like we wouldn't have saved much time. All right, I'm gonna go help Sharon. You guys get on a gen.
Okay.
Main building isn't done, but it's also not started. Sharon, I got you. Cool. I'm at Shack on a gen, by the way. It's like halfway done. Oh, and you got one a quarter. That's nice, nice.
Yeah, this is main building. I couldn't fucking... The other guy PP poofed, so then I just found the closest gen and...
Yeah. She's, I think I'm gonna confuse her the same way I did last time. Dude, this is crazy. That's actually crazy.
Oh, he fucking found me. Cool. Thanks for coming and finishing the tiniest last little bit. Big preach.
Yeesh. Sheesh, dude, she's so paranoid I'm there.
Oh,
Oh wait, if I get on the spoon, I can heal myself. Dude, she's so paranoid somebody's there. Oh, I guess Sharon's there. Oh. I shouldn't have touched that gen, so she can keep it again.
bro.
I'm just hoping she thinks that I'm in a locker. Are you good? What's up?
The fucking random missed a skill check and it booted us off the gen. So I'm stuck.
Oh, because DMS. Oh no.
I don't know where the random went. But...
He's with me at Shack.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
This
We can't get her to leave,
a
Sharon.
quarter.
Okay, I'm gonna get Sharon. It's gonna be a trade. Maybe. I got you, Megward. My Megward.
Nope. That's gonna get a veto from me. A little bit over halfway.
She really doesn't know how to loop shack.
You guys are still at shack.
Yeah, I'm still at shack. I'm mending myself mid-chase. I did. Oh, she missed. Dude, I feel so bad! Vittorio, please take a hit. 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 Oh. If only I had dead hard. That would have been crazy. Wait, I'm the only one not dead on hook. This is actually awesome. Oh, and that gate's getting prepped.
This one is a tap away.
Okay.
I haven't touched the other one though.
Yeah, so the one I'm by, that's by shack. Oh. Vittorio, why would you open that, brother? My brother in Christ. Why would you...
I guess I'm just gonna also open.
Yeah, you can just also open at this point.
I had mine edged, so it was one tap, but it wasn't fucking... That's lame.
I'm gonna get hooked by killer, or by main building is what I meant. Are you... Yeah, you're healed. Yeah, so this is okay. We can do this. She's gonna try to push you out. Just try to get her attention, but don't make it seem obvious.
I just don't know.
She... Oh.
If you just come over...
Yeah, I'm coming to you. I gave her the old spin around. Alright, we're good. Hey brother. Can you heal me at the very end? Right here. Nice. Oh no. Oh no, I hope Sharon doesn't get... Oh, hey! Thanks. Cool. That was a good match to end on. That was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, Rack.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Preach, brother.
You know I'm always down to play DBD. It's just, But I was playing killer earlier, which is fair. Alright, I'll catch you again soon, dude.
These are...
Chat, say goodnight to Rack. Hey, Boiler, if you're here, is Dual Blades still live? Twitch.tv/Dual Blades. It's like Dual double L, right? DUALL. Wait, yes. I'm almost certain. Yes. I'm certain because I'm already following this person. Yes. Alright. Chat. Excuse me. I just burped. Yoinkus. Oops, you know what? I need to do one thing. I need to do one thing. Gamers, please don't go anywhere. We're going to be raiding a friend of Boiler Dwarf, Dual Blades. I've hung out in their stream before. They seem like a good, nice vibe. And so if you don't mind hanging with me, joining me for the raid, I'd really appreciate it. Spread some love. If you're in the YouTube chat, I'm sorry I don't have a live redirect for you, but it's been nice having you. Hold on. Okay, I got it. Cool. GTS. I don't know what you mean, Sharon. I'm sorry. Leave this lobby in case they want to queue up without me. So, gamers, as always, thank you so much for joining the stream tonight, especially the raid from Rack. Always appreciate that. Hopefully, we've had some new faces. I'm going to be live again tomorrow night. Probably going to be streaming Alien Isolation in VR, continuing that playthrough. We're not that far in. Thank you so much, everyone who came in, whether it was a minute, a whole time. I always appreciate it, especially the people who chat. I'm gonna let you guys go. We're gonna give Dual Blades a nice raid, so please tell them I sent you. Tell them, give them good vibes. See you again soon.